Okay, it's 11 o'clock. Somebody has 11 o'clock. I will call the Harrison County Commission meeting for Wednesday, August 30th, 2023 to order. If you would rise and join in the board's prayer and pledge, please. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Amen and amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Betsy, are you on Zoom?
Yes, ma'am, Madam President.
Wanna make sure. Okay. Do public comment. Is there anybody signed up to speak?
I signed up and it was for the hearing later on in the meeting.
Okay. Number 2, consent agenda. What's the pleasure?
Move to approve consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion carried. Is there anyone on Zoom that wishes to speak publicly? Sorry. Anyone on Zoom wish to speak public? Okay. Number 3, payroll change notices. A, Megan Fox, 911.
Move to approve payroll change notices. A, Megan Fox for 911.
Okay, motion to approve payroll changes for Megan Fox, 911. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? None, motion carried. We do not have any minutes or amended minutes, it says. Is that correct, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, number 5, requisitions, purchase orders, invoices, A and B. What's the pleasure?
Move to approve A, Town of Ann, ARPA funds. And B, vendor list with the exception of DNA contractors allowed be pulled from the list.
Okay.
Madam President, I'll make the motion to approve all of the requisitions today.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Commissioner Hinkle first. Motion is to approve A and B, and on B, exclude the DNA contractors. What's the pleasure? Oh, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the next motion is number 5, B, to approve all. Is there any discussion? I should have asked for discussion on the other one. Is there any discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Number 6, there are no exonerations or corrected tickets. Yep. Review, discuss, consider changing how we sell excess dirt on county property from cubic just a specified mound of dirt section off to lot of dirt, minimum bid of $20,000. Does anybody have any information on that?
We went out, Danny and I went out and looked at the. And it's like, I'm not sure how I think the question is how we just determine exactly how much is there.
I mean, are we just wanting to do the whole mound as, and the minimum bid be $1,000? Is that what this is?
Probably, yes.
Okay,
Motion to approve the amount for a minimum of $20,000, Madam President.
okay, the motion's been made to approve 7 as a mound of dirt at $20,000.
Just some discussion, or sure it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay with this. I just think we need to add in that, whoever purchases this dirt, that, are we going to let them just take what they want? So they have to remove all of it? Two, to put the property back to, in seed and maintain so that.
Somebody comes out behind me.
To maintain any DEP requirements while they're doing this, so that the county does not get fined for runoff.
could you make that part of the bid? Can we put all that in?
I would like to.
Are you okay with that, Commissioner Treehouse?
No, I'm not, Madam President. My motion is to get rid of the mound and we'll seed it ourselves.
Patsy, what you have to worry about is runoff when this has happened. They're gonna be disturbing the dirt. If they don't put up silt fence and other things, are we gonna do that? Cause if somebody doesn't do that, then we're opening ourselves for a potential of a DEP fine where we're gonna have runoff while this is going on.
I don't disagree. So you're not willing to put all that in the bid? Or who, are we gonna do any of this? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
And include everything he said.
We're voting on,
Patsy, will you add, are you willing to include to take care of the environment when we do this?
I'm willing to take care of the environment, Madam President, but we can seed it ourselves. It's our piece of property.
No, that's not what, not seeding is not the only issue. Is runoff could be an issue too.
I agree to the runoff. It's just seeding ourselves that I said.
I can just tell you right now, seeding runs $7,000 to $10,000 an acre, and they'll probably disturb at least an acre of land or more. Because we just got a quote at the airport, so. That's all I can say is that it doesn't happen.
Okay, so.
Go
the
ahead and
motion-
include it. Go ahead and include it, Madam President.
Okay. The motion is to approve number 7 with the inclusion of everything that David mentioned, correct? Okay,
I guess
Guys, you can do what you want to do. You guys can do what you want to do. I don't want to drive up the price of selling the dirt so we don't generate revenue. We're constantly trying to generate revenue and we're constantly voting it down. So let's go ahead and do whatever we have to do today to get through this agenda item and make it as complicated as possible.
Cassie, do you want anybody to, when they bid, not take it all, or can they just take what they want and leave it as is? I guess that's the question.
No, what we want to do is we want a minimum bid to take it all of at least $20,000 and it's gone and we generated at least $20,000 and we have a clean piece of property to redevelop because of what we did last week.
Okay, so I think that then that my addition to the motion was they take all the dirt, but they don't leave any. They reseed and they do whatever needs to be done to make sure we don't have any runoff to affect with the EPA as far as mud, dirt, or any of those issues, which any contractor, that shouldn't be an issue for them to do.
I agree with you 100%, Commissioner, but it sure was an issue when somebody was up there taking it without anybody's permission.
Well.
And when that dirt was taken, that dirt was our property because that property did not go to the medical facility until way after the project started. So we'll go ahead and do it your way today, but we didn't do it that way in the past, up there on that particular site.
okay, the motion is on the floor as stated by both by Commissioner Hinkle. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, hearing none, motion carried. Okay, I think we have 11:05. The state hearing, Noah Lee Morris petition to remove administratrix and appoint petitioner as the replacement. Mr. Greer, is that yours?
Madam Chair, we're here for the 11:05, the petition to remove Mary Jean Calvert as administrator. We're here to
Not what I
respond
just
to
said.
that motion.
Oh, okay, so is she here?
She is here and I believe at least one of the petitioners is here. It was filed by Noah.
Are they in the hall?
Calvert.
Could you, Robert, do you mind?
Could you tell me the names again? I'm sorry.
I don't have, who's the petitioner?
Was it Calvert Estate? It's the Calvert Estate.
Yeah, Calvert Estate.
Gregory
Thank you,
Calvert.
Chair.
It's Noah Calvert and forget the Mrs. Simpson, I think is her name.
Anybody's here for Calvert, what do you got? What take are you? He's here. What's in Morris?
So there's no one here. The petitioner is not here. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm not Noah Lee Morris, I'm Noah Calvert.
Okay, hang on a second. So are you the petitioner? I'm running this, that's,
The letter is here is
Yeah,
from,
there's a Noah Calvert
No.
listed on the first page.
and it's the letter, this letter's from Noah Calvert.
okay. So you're petitioning to have Mary Jean Calvert removed?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, now that we got that straight. I would like anybody that is going to be testifying in this matter to stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Thank you. Okay. So the only two parties we have are you and you, it sounds like here, correct? And all service was made to all parties. Was there anybody else involved?
My sister's mom also sent in a letter. She's not here.
Okay. Would you like to speak your piece?
Essentially, I feel like I'm being cheated out of what my father had, what little my father had to leave me and my siblings. And no matter how many times I've tried to talk with everybody in my family to try to come to a reasonable and happy conclusion for everybody, I've just been met with nothing but getting ignored and not direct answers to my questions I've been asking. And then I was told about a month ago that my grandmother took my father's car into her possession, and I was told that is illegal because she is not listed as an heir. There was no living will, and so I guess everything was supposed to go to me and my siblings. That's what I've been told. That's my piece. I just
Anything, you don't have anything else to?
want what me and my siblings are owed.
Mr. Greer,
If I may respond.
you sure?
Yes, my name is Robert Greer and I represent Mary Jean Calvert in her capacity as administrator of the estate of Matthew Calvert. This estate is relatively new. It was just opened recently and unfortunately, Mr. Matthew David Calvert, Matthew Gregory Calvert, when he passed, left four children, two of whom are minors. Noah, and he has an older brother, and then there are two other children who have different mothers that are yet to have reached the age of majority. Ms. Calvert came to me and retained my services because there are some complex legal issues here. Property owned by Mr. Calvert includes oil and gas interests in Doddridge County and an automobile. The appraisal for this estate has been filed since this objection has been filed, but Mrs. Calvert has qualified with a bond. She has obtained a tax identification number, opened up an estate bank account, and has filed the appraisal, which is now of record and will be advertised between now and November, so that anyone that has claims against the estate, it may well, and there may well be some claims against the estate, but it would be my recommendation and request of this commission that Mrs. Mary Jean Calvert, who is the mother of the deceased and the grandmother of all four of these children, including the two minors, is in the best position to look out for all of those people and has been acting appropriately in her capacity as executor. The automobile that was questioned by Noah is listed on the appraisal as an asset of the estate. I can respond to that in that for reasons unknown to me and my client, the DMV actually did retitle that vehicle in the mother's name, that based upon my advice and her actions, that is an asset of the estate and will be disposed of in accordance with the intestate laws of the state of West Virginia. We don't believe that she's done anything inappropriate at this point in time to justify her removal. She's been following and meeting all of the deadlines, and we would ask that she be allowed to remain in that position as the person that's in the best position to look out for all of the heirs. And believe that addresses all of the issues that have been raised at this point, and we would be open to any questions of the commission if they have any.
So she just qualified in July. You may have said that.
That's correct. Okay. There was some confusion. Initially, there was a small estate affidavit that was filed by the oldest sibling or the oldest child. That was reversed, and we opened up an estate because there are funeral bills, there are some other expenses, and there may well have to be a transaction involving the oil and gas, and some of the title companies in the state aren't real fond of that small estate affidavit form of transference of property. So we've got two minor heirs, children, and we've got these claims, and so we're gonna have to deal with those probably through a sale, and we need somebody as an executor that is gonna look out for all four of the heirs.
Thank you.
The matter before the county commission for petition to remove Mary Jean Calvert. The commission wishes for her to stay as the administrator.
Concur. You're making that in the motion,
Motion.
form of the motion. Okay, is there any discussion on Commissioner Hinkle's motion to allow Ms. Calvert to stay as the administrator? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion carried. Thank you. You'll do an order of all.
I will prepare the order and submit it to the clerk for the commission's signature.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Eleven ten, estate hearing Noah Lee Morris, petition to remove administratrix and appoint petitioner as the replacement. Do we have Paula Goodrich?
Paula Goodrich. Anybody associated.
Okay, and you are,
Charles Bellamy,
Okay.
Miss Goodrich.
and you're Ms.
Yeah.
Goodrich?
Miss Goodrich and Mr. Goodrich with us today.
No. Was service made of the petition to? Okay,
My understanding from the
Petition.
order was that the clerk was handling service of the petition
And it
on
was-
this one.
okay. Who is going to be testifying in this matter today?
Miss Goodrich is here and willing to provide whatever
Or are
information
you just gonna present your,
that.
is that basically
is
what you're gonna
fine.
do without it? It's up to you.
I can do that. Miss Goodrich does have difficulty with her speech.
Okay,
So she is here to answer any questions.
if she needs to be
about
sworn in, then we can swear her in. How's that? Is that fair enough?
That sounds good.
Okay, and we're very informal here if you want to sit. But we do not have anyone else with this matter, do we? Is there anyone else in the hallway? I wonder? This, is this it? What, is that it? Okay, okay. Sorry. Wrong file. Isn't it? So we're looking for Joyce Lynn Horner, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, is there a Joyce Lynn Horner? Joyce Horner? Joyce Horner? Horner? Here's just,
Nobody's responding.
first came back. I have a signature card for Theodore Morris. Remy Morris, I guess Donna, you signed for that. Davis Funeral Home. Paula. And the bond, but it appears Miss Horner's came back. Returned to sender, not delivered as addressed, so she has not been served, it appears.
They cite her petition too, she's unable to be reached.
If it assists the commission, we have made numerous attempts to locate and communicate with Ms. Horner, including hiring a private investigator to track her down, who spoke with some of Ms. Horner's family members who also were unaware of her location.
I think it's kind of hard to. Is there any publication done or any other way to try to notify?
Other than the numerous calls and private investigator, that, previously mentioned. There has not been on our end, in light of the commission's order, related to this hearing. It was our understanding that the commission was handling service. However, we are more than happy to, publish, notice, if the commission sees fit to.
Well, I mean, it's
Move
kind
this
of hard to have, I think it's hard to have, I'm not an attorney, but hard to have a hearing when a petitioner. I mean, everything hasn't been exhausted, am I wrong? Anybody else want to say, I mean. That's just me. And I get what you're. Right? And she wants to be. Ms. Goodrich wants to be appointed, is that
She
correct?
does. She is willing to perform all of the duties of the administrator and, including represent the estate in the course of this lawsuit and of course the other, estate administration duties.
I mean, if you want to talk to the petition, I mean. I just.
If the commission, deems that additional, notice is required, I would ask that a, temporary, order of appointment, be issued today and an additional, a subsequent hearing set, to allow us to take any notice requires that the commission deems necessary. However, at this point, the pending lawsuit on behalf of the estate is in the midst of discovery, and the absence of an administrator willing to participate has been detrimental, to the estate's position in the lawsuit. We are in the midst of discovery and in dire need of someone to speak on behalf of the estate at this point. As I said, we are willing to take whatever measures necessary to provide notice to Ms. Horner. However, to the extent that the commission is willing to temporarily appoint Ms. Goodrich, I would ask that we do so.
Make a motion, Susan, for us to take a brief recess to discuss this. All right, you.
Motion to take a brief recess concerning the matter before us at this time. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Give us a few minutes.
Thank you.
Maybe that makes sense. So, we're still alive.
But you go back in session.
Motion to come out of recess and get back into session. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Question on depositions, one of those scheduled.
We are currently scheduling about 15 depositions that are going to take place in the month of September. Dates have been requested for deposition of the administrator, obviously with Ms. Horner being unreachable, we've been unable to schedule that. Just to provide a bit of a timeline for the commission, Ms. Horner was appointed, Mr. Morris died in August of 2021. Ms. Horner was appointed as administrator in October of 2021. Our last successful communication with Ms. Warner was November 22nd, 2021. We've made numerous attempts to reach her after being unsuccessful for an extended period of time and in the face of discovery requirements. We retained a private investigator, James Polly, who then submitted a report to us on March 8th of this year, outlining the efforts that he took trying to reach Ms. Warner. And as I said before, he was unsuccessful in locating her. Do you have a copy of that? I do.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
I would also like to bring to the commission's attention that Mr. Morris and Ms. Warner were not married at any point. Ms. Warner has 2 children by Mr. Morris. Have been informed that she no longer has custody of those children, which, if that is the case, she would no longer be a beneficiary of the estate. Ms. Goodrich is Mr. Morris's natural mother. and is willing to step in and take on all the responsibilities of administrator. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
It's quite all right.
You, Reed, if you have anything else you would like to say? Is there anything else you would like to present?
I would move the commission to issue an order removing Joyce Horner as the administrator of the estate of Noah Morris and appointing Paula Goodrich as the successor administrator of the estate.
The motion is in the state of Noah Lee Morris to appoint Paula Goodrich as the replacement administrator and to remove Paula Goodrich,
No, Horner.
no, Horn, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I understand.
Yeah, Joyce Horn.
Yeah. Okay. Motion as stated by Commissioner Hinkle. I'm gonna try to repeat that again. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. You prepare the order and give it back to us so we can
Certainly.
execute it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Mhm. Fine.
Okay, 11:15, we have a hearing Juanita Woodson to accept a copy of lost will in place of original. I don't see a Juanita Woodson in here. She out to.
I'm familiar with them out there now.
Thank you, Sheriff. It'll be easier. This one should be easier.
Yeah, I heard that one gets easy.
That's the hardest part here.
Yeah. This is. Yeah, we cut this line. You are Betty.
Yes,
Okay. Would you raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay. Okay, you are here because of a lost will of someone, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, the first one I helped her make was in 13, but the one we're talking about now is in 17. She was my very best and closest friend. We were like sisters. I was close to her and her husband. I'm not very happy about the way she's been treated. And left to die alone. And the other brother asked me if I would try to find that will. But I really wasn't gonna do it. I was tired, okay? But when he called me and asked me, I just didn't want to do anything to cause trouble, but it seems like there's trouble anyway. So, I just felt like it's something I had to do. Because they've done a lot for me, her and her husband both. It was special to me. He wanted that will carried out, and I was told that they found on the front page, you couldn't find the rest of it.
We're definitely gonna do it with them combined. Talk about it.
Mhm.
And that son called me and asked me if I had it, and at the time I didn't. I didn't have any clue where it was. But I just said it was a God thing because I found it. How you believe, but that's the way I believe. I had to pray about this whole thing.
Here's a copy of the will. Because it does name her in this code. Mhm. Yep. Okay.
Motion and, date of. I'm gonna butcher this, but Juanita Woodson,
Mhm.
that we accept a copy of the lost will.
Okay, motion's been made to accept the lost will of Juanita Woodson. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion carried. And you will be appointed under the copy of the will.
Thank you so much.
Contact the clerk's office to set up an appointment to get that probated. Okay,
Okay, okay.
and tell her right. Okay, 11:20. Salem Apple Butter Festival. Christy Howe. Christy here?
Not good. Was she ever here?
I have no
I
idea.
get enough, I don't know. I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
Motion to approve $3,500 for the apple butter festival.
Okay, motion's been made to approve $3,500 for the Salem Apple Butter Festival. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion carried. Okay, number 8, and I stand where I was last week. On this. With the MOU. So I'm going to recuse myself. In the room.
Commissioner?
You there, Patsy?
Yes, sir.
Say that I you didn't have to sit through these last 3 hearings.
I listened in, sir.
It's number 8, review and discuss, consider MOU between HCC, HCDA, and HCEDC. A lot of letters. It has to do with last week's vote to transfer property. This is an MOU for the funds from that transfer to return back to the Harrison County Commission. Motion is moved to approve it. All in favor, say aye.
Commissioner, I'm not sure. Everything was approved last week. Why are we doing this today?
This is the MOU is so that they know to send the money back to the general county funds.
Are you speaking of the 1.4?
No. $140,000.
That was, yes, that was already confirmed last week that they would give us $140,000 for the 2 pieces of property.
Right, but they'll write the check to the development authority, and this is for the development authority and the commission to have the money come back into the commission's coffers.
That was established last week, sir.
Trey came up at the end of the meeting and suggested this MOU for the money to come back.
Well, Mr. Zimmerman, is he present?
No, he's not here today. All this does is provides that the 140 goes to the commission, 100,000 for the remainder of the property, 40,000 for the landlocked. And it's written out that it relieves the county commission of the Thrasher Group and relieves 1.4. And all parties agree to further take the necessary steps to effectuate the foregoing, and all parties agree not to challenge.
I believe with all my heart that was established last week, and there's no reason for this memorandum of understanding. And if Mr. Zimmerman felt that way last week, he should have spoke about it in the meeting while we were already in discussion. He spoke about everything else concerning this. Why didn't he speak about this? I mean, well, he's a day late and a dollar short. This is understood that the county commission to the general fund will have 40 for one piece of property, 100 for another piece of property, and a total of $140,000. Pay off the Thrasher debt, as well as relieve us of our $1.4 million commitment to support the economic development. And then economic development will be able to then market these 2 pieces of property at their free will.
I agree that we agreed to do this. What this does, Patsy, is an agreement between us and the authority to make sure that the money comes back into your coffers.
I think that's already been established, sir, and I appreciate Mr. Zimmerman at the midnight hour thinking of this, and it's wonderful that he did that. But we discussed this last week, and I think the wheels are already in motion. And if this is the case, why have I just now heard about it at the meeting?
The memorandum was on the agenda.
And nobody knew what that memorandum was.
Yeah, it's been published.
No, we're ready to go, Commissioner, and I think we're beating a dead horse. And if you want to make a motion on the floor, go ahead and I'll call the question.
I made the motion to approve the MOU between the Harrison County Commission and the Harrison County Development Authority.
And for the record, I'm stating that that has already been established. I'll call the question. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No.
Well, let's see the motion come back in. Motion, as soon as Susan comes back, is then to adjourn. There is no commissioner comments today. Nope, I'm sorry, there is. Patsy? Patsy? Hello? Hey, Patsy. Tony, can you nudge him or something? One final piece of business today is we have a request for a interlocal agreement between the city of Clarksburg and Harrison County Commission. That's for a grant. It's due tomorrow. And the motion is to approve the MOU and have the commission present to fix their signature.
Okay, motion's been made to approve the MOU between Clarksburg and the Harrison County Commission for a grant purposes, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
I just wanted to let you know that we do have an updated quote.
Okay.
So we got the four, okay.
Okay.
Good. Okay,
Aye.
aye, okay. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Can we? I'd like to look at the table items under T4. I'd like to remove T4. Make a motion to remove T4 from the table item. Motion,
Okay. Aye.
aye, okay. You see what T4 is taken off. Thank you very much. Is there anything that you need to report on behalf of the administrator? Mr. Nagel? I have nothing. Mr. Treehouse? Say that's a no. Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none.